on the left side.
And in the open, you can't give him chances, especially one-on-one.
Rosicka leaving no rebound. Such in charge again. Full steam to his backhand. Stopped by Rosicka. Left with a step. Such unloads. Steered away by Rosicka.
This is a cool moment for father and son, and obviously the rest of the Iginla family.
Tries for Iginla. Sees Iginla shoot.
Pass broken up and brought back by Iginla. Iginla, great pass. Creighton Cruz walks it and shoots.
Over to Yenborg. Yenborg back for feet. Backhand score. Ivar Stenberg. Welcome to the tournament in quick time. There he's got one. Ivar Stenberg.
And they struck early again. A minute 20 seconds in. Across to Salim Melenius.
Oh, what's
What is
up,
up?
people? You said I was doing the intro. I'm doing
Go
it.
on. Go on.
Well, welcome back to another From the Nosebleed episode.
One of you, figure it out. Jesus Christ. Get on the same page.
Yeah. What is up, people? Welcome back to another From the Nosebleed episode. Today I'm with, as per usual, I'm with Aristos Sakis,
Yes,
next
sir.
gen prospect, and NHL pipeline.
Yes,
And
sir.
today we are reviewing trades that involve prospects in the last month and a half, I should say.
Yeah.
Why we not let's get right into it, shall we? Why not?
Yeah, for sure.
So the first trade that I decided to cover is the Jack Brigham trade. He was traded from Chicago to Tampa Bay. And the return was a 2027 third round pick.
Hmm.
As we know, Chicago got no leverage. Okay, but what do we think of this for both Brigham, the Blackhawks, and the Lightning?
I'll go first. Sorry, I'll go first. I feel like this is a type of scenario where like it could be good for him because we've seen the Blackhawks make some terrible moves during this offseason, and maybe this is good for him because Tampa Bay, they've been pretty good in the developmental side, and maybe they could unleash something within him. 2027 third round pick, it is what it is. But I think like the Blackhawks moving Jack is like pretty good for him because like I said, the Blackhawks, I have no idea what direction they're heading in anymore because of what they've done this offseason. So I think maybe Tampa Bay could like get something going with him.
Next gen.
Yeah, with Prudhomme, I really liked him at the Memorial Cup. He obviously, I think, won MVP where he had, I think, was it? Oh yeah, 9 points in 4 games. He's a really pacey guy. He's fast. That's what was shown off the most, and I think he's got some, I think, a little bit two-way upside. Sorry, I'm just trying to think a little bit more. I remember his draft year. I think he was drafted.
20.
Oh yeah, it was the BCHL, and he was like in kind of this outside pick. And then, once the NIL thing opened up, he obviously went to Kitchener, and it looked like he was gonna go to BU. And then now, his rights expired, and now he's going to go to Denver. So, I mean, it's good for the Hawks that they got value for a guy that they're not going to sign. And Tampa Bay, they get younger, but I think I trust their system the most. I think they can make the most out of these younger guys in like probably bottom 6 situations. We kind of seen some guys in Tampa Bay system like a Gage Gonzalez kind of show up and be important. So I kind of trust their system a little bit, but I bet I think if you're Jack Prudhomme, maybe you kind of stay in college for I think maybe 2 years at least, and then maybe you go AHL or whatever. But yeah, I mean, once again, it's good that Chicago got at least some value out of it.
Because we knew for a while that he wasn't going to resign. And once we saw the return, we're like, well, that's actually surprising that she like fetched a third, considering he wasn't gonna resign, going to sign at all. So I don't think. But
And another name that I'd like to mention because of their developmental system is Dominic James, because he's young, but he actually did really good in the postseason for
Oh
I think
yeah.
a 20-year-old, maybe 24, around that range. But it just proves that Tampa Bay could really develop anyone and bring in like probably a 30, maybe a 40-point average type of guy out of someone. So we'll see what they do with him.
yeah, Dominic James
And
is 24, so
Yeah.
yeah, he's probably gonna have to take a much more bigger role next year as well. I
Oh,
think
for
he
sure. Huge
signed
step
a
up.
decently sized contract.
For
Oh,
sure.
900K, yeah.
were we thinking, Paplin?
So my opinion, I think this is a loss for Chicago because in my opinion, I don't really think Tampa Bay's got that much space for they don't really their prospects. Sure, they have over the years they've had pretty good prospects that have gone and do many things, but most of them get traded. I don't know if he's a trade piece or he could actually go somewhere with them, but I feel like it's a loss for Chicago because he generally had potential to be maybe a third line, second line guy for them because he's actually a really skillful player. I watched him in the USHL with Kitchener. He had an amazing year, and I think it's a little bit big of a loss for Chicago, but for him it's a win because he now gets to develop with his teammate in Sam O'Reilly. So I think it's going to be they could be a good little duo for Tampa Bay. So who knows?
Actually, yeah, I actually don't mind it. Like I said, I think it's good for Chicago to get value for at least someone that wasn't gonna sign in Chicago. And I think yes, Chicago gets a third, whatever. That third can be used anywhere, like either in a trade, or you just use that third for drafting. And for him goes to a team that's like good development wise, like you guys all said. I think it goes for. I think the person needs to go for both sides. So for the second trade cover, this one is also a prospect that wasn't going to resign, and it's Andre
Yeah.
Gasso to the Sharks from the Bruins.
I'll talk about this one if you'd
You go
like.
ahead.
Yeah. So Andre Gasso, who I've watched with BC, had honestly had a good stretch with Boston College actually, and I honestly thought the Bruins could end up using him maybe as like a third line, fourth line, bottom six type of guy, but kind of sucks like hearing that he won't resign. But I get it because you have a GM that's just not gonna like use you, and it just sucks like straight up. And there's talent with him, and the fact that he's going to San Jose is kind of concerning because that's another team that could develop anyone they fucking want, just like Tampa Bay. So we'll see what happens, but I don't know what the return was. If Ben
It
could pull
is.
that up,
It is. It
I think
was
it was a third or
Gasso in
fourth.
the fourth. This 2026 fourth, which landed 120 for a fourth, which was 104, and a fifth, which was 157. Both this year.
All right,
Both
so
26.
like it's just draft picks, which is probably most of these trades, but yeah, a guy with talent that just doesn't get used by Boston once again. It just seems like it's a never-ending cycle with these type of prospects. But those are my overall thoughts. It sucks seeing someone like this go, but I hope all the best for him in San Jose.
Yeah,
So
it's a
pretty
weird
much got
situation.
yeah.
It's
Go
definitely
ahead.
a weird situation. I really don't know what direction our Boston Bruins are going in. I think this is an interesting trade just because it seems like we're trying to stack draft capital throughout these next couple of years, maybe in preparation of letting Don Sweeney go. Obviously, because on contract, this is Don Sweeney's last year on his contract this upcoming season. So I think this is a situation where I don't hate the trade. I just think it's a weird trade. It's a random one. And I feel like there's been a lot of random trades, at least, that have come through the Bruins system here in organization in the past maybe 2 to 3 seasons. So I just don't know what the direction is looking like with this trade. I don't understand maybe giving him up here for, I guess, draft picks. Like you said, a fourth rounder, which was this year. And what was the other one?
It was Gasso Gasso in the fourth this year for a fourth and a fifth both this year. So pretty
All
much
right.
like-
pretty much Gasso in a fourth, fifth,
Gasso and a
a
bunch of
fourth round pick
chips.
swap.
No direction there. Like
Exactly.
I don't find any direction there with that type of trade. So obviously, you guys don't see my face too much, but it's the Bruins. I keep up with everything. So I just think this is a weird trade. I don't think this is a trade worthy of much of anything. I think for the most part, if we could most likely hit on some of these picks, or maybe, I don't know, develop some of them, it might make sense, but I don't know. Just a weird trade, and that's pretty much all I have to say about that.
100%. Well, very well said, Amari. Very well said.
I mean, if you
Good-
look,
good for you, Amari.
if you look at like the picks that were used, Boston used both these picks. So they
Yeah.
drafted like one of them is a goalie, and those are like probably defensemen. I'm pretty sure.
The guy we drafted, Mativ, I've heard a lot of good things coming out from
So
him.
that's a wait, it's not a goalie. So that's a forward.
Yeah. And
So they're both
then-
forwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've heard a lot about Mativ. He's been pretty solid in dev camp. We'll see what happens with him. I haven't heard much of Vanderson. That's his name. I haven't heard much from him, but Mativ has been more of an eye opener for Bruin fans and scouts that were at dev camp. So that's all I have
I mean,
to say. Van der Ven.
6'6" forward.
Yeah, he's a big guy. But Sweeney likes to draft really tall forwards, and like prime example, Dean Letourneau, who has to take a massive jump this year with Boston College without James Higgins. So we will see what happens with him. But those are my thoughts about this trade. Very random, like Amari said. Shout out Amari for coming in, and yeah,
Declan.
I haven't really watched a lot of Gasso in a while. I mean, I thought he was kind of an interesting player with Boston College. He was kind of a little bit of an anchor for all the star power.
I
With
just
your
want to
Ryan
correct
Leonard.
something. Van der Ven is a defenseman. Sorry.
Who?
yes,
Yeah.
he's a left defenseman, I believe.
Oh,
That's my fault. I apologize.
You're good.
Go ahead. My bad.
oh yeah. That's what I've barely watched Gasso in a while though.
He's
did he
also
play
like
co-
he's
did he
also
play any
23
AHL
now.
games? Oh yeah.
He didn't. I don't think he's played any AHL games. I think he was just with Boston College his whole career.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Boston didn't sign him, so they
Nope.
just shipped him to the Sharks.
Sounds exactly
Mm.
like what you'd expect Don Sweeney and Boston to do. But yeah,
To be honest, like I'm not saying he's not a bad player, but he's already like 23. Like he's gonna have to play in the AHL. I
yeah,
don't know what he's gonna do with the Sharks. He'd be
This might
lucky
be
to start.
this might turn out to be literally a nothing trade.
Oh, exactly. He might literally start like playing in the NHL. He's like 25, like 24. It sounds like just took him on because they can. I mean, they got so much cap space and need players in the AHL, so you might as well take players that have a little bit of potential than an older guy that's like 28, 29 who's got no
Yep.
potential to play in the NHL. So take a chance on him. You never know what can happen, but I think he might be a fourth line player. That's
So pretty
Probably.
much all those Boston do is just get younger in the trade because they go get 4 years.
yes,
because I know he was Boston College's captain, so
Yeah.
maybe he could bring a little bit of leadership there in San Jose when he gets there. I don't know, but who knows? We'll see.
very random trade. But
It is pretty random, but again, that's another prospect that we expected to get traded or like move on to another team.
Yeah,
All right, the third trade. Also, this is kind of the first big trade that happened on June 23rd. There's a few.
oh
here.
yeah,
The Simon Nemeth trade that involved Etienne Morin going to the Devils.
yeah. This is kind of crazy that this happened. Didn't think Simon Nemeth would be going to Calgary, in my opinion. But Etienne Morin, if that's how you say his name, he's pretty solid. It's like he needs more time to develop. Of course, defenseman, lefty. So we'll see what happens with him. See what the Devils do with him. But overall, Calgary gets more of a refined defender, refined player out of Nemec. And I feel like if they're heading into like a playoff type of position, that's the type of guy. And I respect this trade both ways because Jersey gets younger, Calgary gets a player that is refined and that can push them maybe like more wins, more points, stuff like that, and more leadership as well. So we'll see what happens with this trade with Calgary and New Jersey in the future.
I'm interested by the fit of Morin in New Jersey. Might that be in AHL or like NHL eventually? I'm
I
interested.
think
I'm interested in the fit here.
I think he might start with the AHL, then move
Oh, I
up.
know he will, but I'm
Yeah,
just curious if it.
absolutely.
Pipeline.
Yeah.
Oh, Nation, whatever.
Uh, I remember when Morin in his draft year, I was a little bit cautious of him. He was heavily an offensive defenseman, but with like little. I just didn't like his
Kind of
defensive
like a
game
Mason
in
Lohrei
Q.
type of guy.
Yeah. Or no, he's just all offense and like free flowing in the Q. And
Yeah.
I think I think he's got a difficult path to make it to the NHL. He just needs to evolve his game better. I'm interested though in how Nemitz will do in Calgary. I mean, I think they can afford they can afford to give up some picks because they're obviously front loaded with some prospects. I think Nemitz probably could use more playing time in New Jersey as well. I thought we're gonna get more of a bounce back year this year, but that wasn't the case, and I think he was slightly injured as well. But it will be interesting to see how he'll develop because he now obviously signed a big contract with them, and I mean Calgary's blue line is looking pretty interesting for the future too.
Right, and like you said, Calgary it could afford to give up this. But the lead 2 picks different is Golden Knights 2027 first rounder and the Habs 2027 28 round first rounder. So it's gonna be both late first, like late
Mm-hmm.
early 20s at the minimum. So I think it's worth it for Calgary here. Pipeline.
So I know Etienne Morin pretty well. He was born 20 minutes from where I live, so
Mm.
you know he
Aww.
played for Greds Canadian when that's a AAA team close to my house, so know him pretty well. But like Next Gen said, he's just really offensive. When he played for Moncton in his junior years, he put up a lot of points, but that's just because he's very offensive. But I think he struggled to adapt to playing more of a defensive game because obviously his offense isn't elite. So that's why he got bumped down to the CHL for a bit because
Yeah, they play in the
they wanted him to figure it out.
Yep.
That's a scary league to go to if you're a hockey player, in my opinion.
Yeah, they want him to figure it out,
Mhm.
even though he's 21, right? But you gotta adapt yourself to play a more defensive game if you're not gonna put up that many points to stay in the league. So that's gonna be his challenge. But I think he's got a better pathway with Calgary because he's gonna play in the AHL. They don't really have a lot of good AHL defensemen. He's young still; he can still develop. So who knows?
You mean with Calgary with New Jersey?
With New Jersey.
Yeah, you talk about more. Yeah, with New Jersey.
Yeah. Sorry. He's gonna develop. He's got time to develop with New Jersey because they don't really need him. So
That was also, I'm looking at it. That was also his first pro year, so that makes sense why he was.
yeah, that too.
I will ask you because I am familiar with this trade. I will ask you guys, what direction are both organizations going in here with this trade? Like, where do you see
Germany.
organizations going here?
I think they might be going to.
Odd trade for New Jersey. It's a weird trade for New Jersey.
It's odd because they move on from young defenseman, but he was due for a payday, and I don't think they would have needed to pay him because you also have Luke Hughes on the books.
Mm-hmm.
So you could afford to move on from Nemec. Calgary, him going to Calgary came out of nowhere. I didn't expect that at all. But honestly, good for him. He's gonna fit well in that defensive core. And for the Devils, you get assets that you can move on in trades. Morin you can develop, and you get to move off of Tiplankov, which was a nothing burger in this trade, but it's still like notable enough. But I like it for both teams, honestly.
Yeah, like what Ben said, they basically avoided another like crazy contract with like Luke Hughes, like a Luke Hughes scenario almost. But they basically avoided that, which is good for them. And this guy just needs to work on more of his defensive game. So if he could get that down, all will be well for both teams.
So, because
Yeah,
7.25,
Calgary's just Calgary's just betting on full upside with Nemec, and yeah, with New Jersey they obviously got Sonny Meta now, and I think they're just trying to get as much assets they can.
and
Yeah.
we all know Meta is very smart, so
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
we see it. All right.
I just want to say that there's a clip. I don't know if Amari can find it, but there's a clip of a goal he scored in the playoffs against Carolina. I think it was a couple of years back,
Yeah.
which will show you, I think, why Calgary kind of went for this kid, because he's very offensively talented. He's just got to work out a couple things defensively. But honestly, if he's given minutes, he can put up at least 50, 60 points. Honestly, he's so gifted. I mean, he's in that Slovakian generation where I think him and Slavkovsky just got to carry themselves high and keep on producing in the league, because honestly, they can both do well for them.
And
And
go ahead.
I think in New Jersey's case, it's they're just trying to get younger. I think really on the back end. Obviously, Nemec was young, but you got to pay that kid, and he wanted more than probably what they were willing to give him. And also, the opportunity wasn't there for him to really grow to maybe what he wanted to be. And in Calgary, there's an open spot to be number one power play unit and play a whole bunch of tough minutes against tough players to see how good you really are. So it's going to be interesting to see how he does next year.
And we saw the offensive skill this year from Nemec. He literally had a game with a hat trick against the Blackhawks with the OT winner.
Yeah.
So the
Oh,
offensive
yeah.
skill is there. So it just, I think what it's needed to be is just defensive game.
I think they both need to work defensively, but other than that, they'll be fine.
Yep. Okay. Well, next trade. That was the next trade. That's probably the biggest one we're gonna cover, or like one of like plot three or the biggest one. The William Eklund trade that sent Eklund, Kasper Altunen, and Brynäs Svoboda to the Senators for the 9th overall pick.
And this was a kind of crazy trade because I'm actually a little bit familiar with Casper, and this is your type of guy to just score and assist. He makes, he scores. He's a very fun player to watch play. And honestly, with this trade, San Jose, same example with Nemec. They got out of like someone that they need to pay, and at this point, they don't want to do that. They just want to keep kind of progressively getting younger, but not really at the same point. But they want to keep the developing going to like get the talent out of these players that they're going for. And Casper's that guy. Brandon is also not a bad add-on, but we'll see how they do in San Jose. And then Ottawa getting William Eklund. That was
I know
honestly.
Altunen and Svoboda also going to Ottawa, by the way.
Oh, okay. Flip that. Sorry. William Eklund, this was just crazy to me because I honestly didn't see this happening. I didn't see him getting moved, but I didn't but moving to Ottawa is kind of crazy in my opinion because they're not like the greatest team right now. They're losing almost everyone. But we'll see. These are fun guys that teams are getting. So, yeah.
The fact that the pick was also used on Kaden Verhoff is
Yeah, and another thing is like they just love to stack draft capital. And per example, this trade, previous podcast, if you guys watched, we said the Sharks had an A+ draft in the first round, and maybe the whole draft. Drafting Veerhoff, Lynn, and
Stenberg.
then Stenberg. It's like you're set with those three guys. So it just proves how solid like how solid and smart that front office is, and the dev system is also out of its mind. So honestly, San Jose's in a position right now that could do anything.
Yeah, the fact that it was Altonen and two players, not Altonen, Eklund and two players on top of Eklund and two players going for like the ninth. That was kind of crazy to me because I don't expect Eklund. I honestly expected Eklund and for just the ninth would have been fine with was Eklund, Altonen, and like and two other like Eklund and two other players. It's like, but and the prospects you're getting are not even terrible either.
No, they're fun. Casper could do everything like, offensively, and Brandon's a really fun guy to watch too. So yeah,
Next gen.
Yeah. So Halton and Sabota are kind of these big, or these. They're just these guys with big frames, and Halton was also one of my favorites his draft year, and when he went to London, I really liked watching him. I actually saw him at the Memorial Cup final. I think he scored the first goal for London. That kind of helped their comeback to try to come back against Saginaw. Obviously didn't happen, but he's like a heavy half wall shooter. He needs a little bit more pace in his game as well. I haven't really watched any of his AHL games too, but I mean, hopefully you'll get like a decent bottom six, maybe power play two finisher out of Haltonen. And then Sabota is another guy I watched at the 2024 summer showcase, and like I said, another big heavy guy. He's really good at net front battles, and like I've noticed a lot. Like he's kind of a good forechecker too, or also great at back
yeah.
checking.
Yep.
He's also great at digging in walls and like wing puck battles there. So there's limited offensive upside with him, but I think he fits perfectly with Ottawa's system as well. And that Eklund trade kind of caught me off guard, but I mean, if you're San Jose, you're obviously bringing in Ivar Stenberg, so I mean, I think
You're
this
bringing like
was
everyone at this
perfect.
point.
This is like a perfect. I think it's a potential win-win. I feel like because San Jose they were able to get Keaton Verhoff, and now Ottawa gets a little bit more star power. William Eklund, he was one of my favorite prospects for a while too. And I hope he overall just shines more with this skill, and I think he's gonna get that with even more playing time and on a
Ottawa.
relatively, I guess, a little bit better of a team in Ottawa. But obviously the Sharks are gonna get there as well. But I think he's gonna have more opportunities with Stutzel now too.
A little bit of an
Absolutely.
international line.
Mhm.
Obviously that comes in like that came like in response of the Brady Kachuk trade that was sending him to Florida. How you get the ninth. So it's like you kind of replace Brady Kachuk with William Eklund, and you get two prospects on top of it. I'd consider that a win for Ottawa, honestly. Pipeline.
Listen, I absolutely love Halton, and I think he's honestly one of those prospects that could just score from almost anywhere. He's got such a great wrist shot. I mean, sure, he's got to work on a couple things, but I think he could even make Ottawa's roster this year if he has a good cap because he's a goal scorer. He's Ox. He's a really good goal scorer, so it's a really good get for Ottawa. Really good job by their GM to get as many pieces as they could, and I think the other prospect that they got out of it is more like a player like Garceau, where he's probably going to be playing at Boston. I think he plays at Boston University, but he's going to be there for another probably a year or two, and probably gets shipped off or something. Be in a trade piece or something for them because he's probably like that. But really good get for Ottawa. And listen, we could talk about San Jose all day, but we know what they did was smart. So gotta be proud of them. Very proud of San Jose because they're building something well.
Yeah, I mean you can't look past it, so you just have to notice it. And another trade that happened on June 23rd is Jordan Cairo to Washington. That's in Milton Gaston to St. Louis, notably.
Oh yeah. This was we knew Kyrie was gonna get moved, but oh man, this Milton Gaston is just I'm really high on him. Ben could tell you, but there's so much potential with this guy. And this is exactly what the Blues wanted to do, and they did it perfectly. Milton Gaston is gonna do amazing things with St. Louis because that guy has his skating is phenomenal. His offensive production is there. Playmaking there. He could do everything for you, and the Blues need that type of guy to be there because losing Kyrie is a big loss. Yeah, can Gaston step into his shoes? No, but can he like be half? Can he fix most of the problem? Yes, because he has that potential and he will get there with the development. I really am high on Gastrin, and I think that he could help this team maybe make. I don't know if he's gonna start, but I think maybe make like a wild card in a few years. But we'll see. This guy has a lot of potential and has a great ceiling.
Also, you have to like see that they got Connor McMichael out of this trade, so that's
Yeah,
good too.
that too. More leadership and another great offensive player.
Yep. Next gen.
Yeah, Gastrin was one of my favorite prospects last year, just mostly because of his playmaking and his game in transition as well. I view him more as kind of like a potential middle six forward. I think he has limited offensive upside, and I think it'll be hard for him to. I think it would be kind of hard for him maybe to break the lineup in the future with the prospects the Blues are bringing in. But either way, I think it's still a decent get to get for Jordan Cairo, who's been. I mean, the main storyline with him is he was just unlucky most of the year, and he was a trade rumors for a while as well. So I like this trade a little bit better for the Cavs, but I mean, for the Blues, you get another prospect, you get more depth in there as well. So
Yeah,
um, I think it's um, I think it's pretty solid for them.
Because not only you get McMichael Gaston, we also get a first.
Mhm.
So it's like
Oh yeah, they
before
did
that was
get
just this
first,
year.
yeah, and then they
Then they
got McTavish.
and then flipping for McTavish.
Mhm.
So it's a good all in all trade for St. Louis, I would say, in the pipeline.
It's a great trade for St. Louis. I did a breakdown on Gastrin, and honest to God, this is your perfect second line centerman that is going to be defensively just so good. He's like going to be like Phil Deneau, basically. So defensively sound, positionally sound. It's just a question about the offense. Because his offense, it's not obviously it's not the best, but he's still such a good creative guy, playmaker. Honestly, great. But honestly, it's a great get for. He's a future second line center in my opinion, or even third line center. Perfect guy for those two spots.
Yeah, I
Another
mean,
thing also with him, I really like his skating too. That was another part I really liked in his game.
great skater.
Yep.
Mhm.
yeah, for sure. I don't like I said, good trade for both teams. Get Washington, you get pieces. Yes, you give up McMichael Gaston and a first, but you could afford to give a first here because you had two in the top 20. So
Yeah, I think the only thing that surprised me is I just thought Obi was gonna retire after they made those couple moves. They got Tuck and they got
Carew.
Karu. So I thought, oh, is this mean Obi's done? And then boom, he comes back. So they're just reloading for another playoff run because they have these two players that are playoff type players in my opinion. Like Kairo performs. I think Kairo will perform in the playoffs if he gets there. And Tuck obviously had a tough time against Montreal, but he's a big body forward, penalty kill. So these are the types of forwards you need in the playoffs, and they're ready to go.
It's
Absolutely.
gonna be great, honestly, if you just look at it like both sides.
Yep.
Well, next trade we have. This has been compared to the last three. This is a minor trade. but I feel
Which
like it was
one?
interesting enough to like cover was to say the trade that sent Amadeus Lombardi to the Devils.
We'll let
Ben.
Mr. Next Gen start with that.
Yeah, I do agree.
Oh, me? Yeah. Obviously being a Wings fan, I thought Lombardi was one of the most interesting prospects as well. I think he had a big year in Flynn, I think after when we drafted him. Or yeah, he had 100 points, and then he's had some solid seasons in Grand Rapids, being near a point per game. It's just injuries has been an issue, but he's kind of a creative playmaker, and he's made some nice moves too. But apparently I think we let him go because Eiserman was having it was weird. I think there was like tough negotiations with him with an AHL contract or something. So then yeah, we traded him to New Jersey. I think this could be another sneaky trade for New Jersey as well. They're getting I think they might get some value of him if he can develop. I think he needs to get Lombardi needs to get a little bit more physical, but I mean, it's a safe bet for New Jersey, but and obviously I hope Lombardi has a great career, but like it kind of sucks that we weren't able to keep him. And maybe should. I would have wished we would have taken a chance on him in the lineup, but I don't know. He hasn't really cracked that, obviously.
Yeah. There's a lot of good things about Lombardi. I think I did a little report about him maybe a year ago or two. But we'll see what happens. You gotta trust the Userman plan. Uh
Geezer, man.
yeah. User plan, whatever they call it over there. Anyway, it sucks that this guy didn't pan out seriously. I'm not really saying there's a lot, but he definitely needs to take the next step. He's kind of like in a Dean Letourneau position where like you need to take that next step in order to be like legit. And I hope for the best because I think he's nice. He's nice with it. He's a good skater. Offense is there. There's a lot of like he has a good future. It's just like he has to take that step where like people could count on you. So we'll see with this. Detroit gets a draft pick. Who'd they draft with this?
Adam Levok.
Yeah, all right.
Oh
So
yeah, he's interesting. I've been watching
another
him a bit more
interesting type
too.
of prospect. So we'll see how Amadeus does, and we'll see how Levick does with Detroit.
If you ask me, next gen you were wrong. But hold on.
Oh, what's going on? What's
My
going
dad's at
on?
my
Say
door.
hello to
bro.
Mr. Big Bolio. You know
My dad's at my door. I'm trying to say something.
what up, Pop?
Let us say hi.
No, it's too late. I pushed him. I pushed him off.
Oh, well.
But what I saw, the piece of information that I saw, is that Lombardi wasn't waiver exempt anymore,
Really?
Oh yeah.
and I feel and as a player that could have possibly cracked the Detroit roster, I don't think Detroit was willing to take the chance to lose him for free. So they just cash in now, get something out of it, and just bet that and Devils just bet on a guy that could like get in that in the bottom six, because I feel like he could get in that, like a fourth line, fourth line role with the Devils, especially after they lost Paul Carter in free agency. I like this for the Devils. Pipeline.
Lombardi put up numbers in the AHL. He's a skillful player. Obviously, we saw it in the OHL with Flint. He put up 100 points in 1 year, so he can score. But I think it's like when that next gen said he's got to be a little more physical, and he's got an opportunity here in New Jersey. Honestly, he could get to the NHL level. He could make the team too. But it's just the problem for a guy like this is like, what is the ceiling? Because obviously in New Jersey there's so much talent. So, you're not going to see the first and the second line. So then as soon as you get to the NHL, it's like, oh, I gotta change my game into a third, fourth line guy, and maybe I'm not gonna get that much ice time, but I gotta hit guys and I gotta forecheck and skate hard, which he could do, but he's gotta be more physical. That's his only thing.
I mean, if you look at where Lombardi was drafted, he was drafted in the 4th round, so you just get equal value.
Yeah, but I think the year he got drafted was the one where
2022.
I forget if that's the one where you put up 100 points or it was the one after that when he just lit it up. But yeah, he's gonna be a third, fourth line guy if he gets there. So he's gotta adjust his game.
Yeah, okay. I don't
Yeah.
mind the shift of the teams. Yeah, you go ahead. All right. So as we look at the next trade,
Yep.
this one is actually pretty interesting for both sides again, which is Anton
Yeah.
Wahlberg to the Ducks as part of the Olden Zellweger return as he goes to Buffalo. Honestly, I'll start on this one. Wahlberg is really interesting. I'm pretty sure he had a good year in the AHL this year.
He did.
This is a good move for the Ducks. I like it. But like I don't like the fact that they move on for Zellweger after they got pretty much cash trap with the whole situation they just went through. But I like the return they got for a guy they were willing to move on. That was in trade rumors a little bit. So I don't mind it because you get Wahlberg, you also get a second and use that second for Jaden Kurtz. So that's terrible either. I don't think that's bad value.
Yeah, like you said, Wahlberg is really interesting. He had a solid AHL stint with I think the Gulls in San Diego.
I mean the goals as the Ducks AHL.
Yeah,
They,
yeah, that's what I was
but
He was
getting
with
at.
Rochester.
Rochester.
Oh, Rochester. Oh,
Rochester is the
Rochester. Sorry. Anyway, he had a pretty good year. I think 30 something points, 37. More of a playmaker with him, but like you said, it's an interesting move because this guy's an interesting type of prospect. Where like you don't know what to expect from him. Maybe he could just end up as trade bait. Maybe he could just you really have no idea. Maybe the Ducks could use him. But we'll see what happens with this. But Zellweger to Buffalo is really interesting to me because Buffalo's a team that um let's just say they're in a really good spot and this move is a good move, but I feel like other teams could have made this trade with any other like the Bruins that I feel could have made this trade for Zellweger. But it's kind of embarrassing we didn't, but that's for another time. But this is a really interesting trade. So yeah.
Next gen.
Yeah, so I really liked Anton Wahlberg in his draft year, mostly because he's pretty fast for his size. I think he's like 6'4", 6'5" ish. And I watched a little bit of his D+1 tape with Malmo, and then at the World Juniors, he played a couple of years there. Thought he was an interesting Sabres prospect, and I think he got better with kind of board battles. But the main thing with him was kind of just his movement. And I think he's a perfect fit for the Ducks. He's definitely that type of a beat player just because you're getting a guy with a big frame and potential center as well. I'm mostly intrigued with Olin Zellweger, though, going to Buffalo. With Buffalo's offensive system, in the ozone, they like to have like moving parts. Like nobody is like locked in a position, and I know they like to move their D. And that's honestly perfect for I think in Olin Zellweger. Obviously he's an undersized defenseman, and I I haven't really watched most of him in Anaheim. The most I have watched him was in his draft year. He was a fun prospect at Everett, even though it was 2021, and I thought he should have went higher. But I think he's got that offensive upside, and I think with Buffalo, it's going to be interesting to see what he can do, maybe as a power play 2 guy potentially. Or I'm just mostly interested to see what Buffalo does with them. I'm hoping he can maybe stick at the second pairing. I don't know. I don't know their roster off the top of my head right now, but no, I think maybe he could be a decent Bowen Byram replacement. I think he was in the second pair, but yeah, I think Zellweger has the potential to put up a decent amount of points, especially with Buffalo.
I see. Oh yeah, I do see. I do see. So I don't go too much on Zellweger, but I do see this as a Bowen Byram replacement. And you see, you got him way cheaper than what you got paid in Chicago.
Hmm.
So you get very much good value there. But that's beyond the point.
And
Pipeline.
I mean, Byram wanted to be the number 1D, and there was no way he was going to take that over Darlene. So, and
Now,
I
now he
forgot
gets a
if
number one money in
Byram
Chicago.
was on the power play with Buffalo, but
I think he was.
either way,
I think he played power play
uh,
too. But again, like in Buffalo, you have Darlene, you have Samuelson, you had Byram.
mhm.
So like you kind of get a logjam on the power play, and he didn't. There was like no point paying 12.5 million as a third, fourth guy. So moving him to Buffalo, moving to Chicago, then getting Zellweger to kind of replace him, I think is a good move. Pipeline.
Okay, I kind of did pull up their lineup right now. They also just got Louis Crevier in that Byram
Oh
trade,
yeah,
and right now he's the third pair on the left side. Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna go over. Yeah, there's no way he's gonna go over power, but he's a decent. Either way, he's just gonna be a decent guy that can move the puck at the very least. But he's just overall fun player to watch.
yeah. Pipeline.
I mean, this is clearly a trade for Buffalo where they just wanted more guys to be able to move the puck faster. Because I think they saw in the playoffs that having Luke Shannon, Kessel Ring, it didn't really work out for their style of play. So they want more guys to be able to move the puck faster. And Owen Zellweger is that type of player. He's pretty fast and he can move the puck really quickly and he can skate. So he's really that type of player. The other thing I don't really, I guess, understand is the fact that Byram thought he deserved 12 million and to be the first first defenseman in Buffalo because I mean, it's just Darlene is there. It doesn't really make any sense. So
Yeah, that was kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
Because if you
good for
look,
Byram.
if you look at it, go ahead.
Listen, good for Byram. Congrats to Chicago on overpaying him, but I don't think he's worth $12.5 million. I mean, Lynn Hudson is going for 8 something. So I think it just shows you the delusion that's going on in Chicago. But for Anaheim, I like this. I really like this prospect. I think Anton Wahlberg is a very, very good prospect. Offensively, he's not going to score you that many points, but I think this is another good ad for them. Third line guy can win you faceoffs. All this. This is a really good get for them because I think they're building their team in a way that they want to be big. They want to be big. They want to be really tough, and they're bringing guys around of Leo Carlson and Cutter Gauthier and all those guys. So this really fits their style, in my opinion.
Also, I thought it fits well with the fact that they got Roger McQueen last year in the draft. So
Yeah, I think for sure because
Mhm.
he's small. Well, I'm not saying he's smaller, but he's
he's still on the big. He's still on the big frame size.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
still a big frame size.
I guess
So
their
it's just
center depth, yeah, it's pretty big right now. Just off the top
yeah.
of my
So
head
that's
too.
what they're trying to
Mm.
they're trying to even it out, and then they're trying to be a big boy team, and it just works out because they got more prospects coming on the way. Their prospect pool is also very good.
Oh yeah.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's just also interesting how they went with all skill this past draft. I know they drafted Jane Kurtz, who's a 6'4", 6'5" defenseman out of high school, but with their first two picks in Nordmark and Klepov, they obviously went with more skill. So yeah, I think they're trying to balance it out too. But having a guy like Wahlberg will help their bottom six And
Mhm.
obviously they're right now they're trying to move like a Chris Kreider or
Alex
Killorn,
Killorn,
so
Vertrano.
they him too. So if they wanna put Wahlberg into, or we'll see. As I think he's making like around league minimum, so I mean that's potential
Honestly,
right there.
if like you look at like the kind of like look at where the Ducks should be doing, if you do move guys like Killorn, Vertrano, and Carter, I think Wahlberg can crack the lineup somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe it's like third line center with the line winger. I think he could crack the lineup. And if you just, I just want to see before, like, I just want to touch on this. Byram was not getting 12.5. He was not getting paying more than Darlene. So, yeah, pretty much.
I mean, the fact that he's making more than Darlene is just absurd in my opinion. I mean, that's just why. Like, why do you think you deserve that much? I mean, how many points did Byron even have? Like,
Many
I don't.
can't even look.
Like, sure, Chicago needed a number one defenseman, but like, this is really a big gamble. Such a big gamble. Yeah, so.
Quite the
Byram,
risk, you could say.
Byram at 42 points in 82 games.
Like, I
So
guess
a point every other game.
I guess
Yeah,
we're
but
looking
can
at
you
it
do
as
that?
if he plays more, that he'll get more points. But like,
And the fact that he didn't even need a contract right now either.
yeah,
He's still
they took
not
a
all done
swing.
for this year.
Yeah, because they
Can you
took
do
a
that with
swing.
that type of Chicago team, though? That's my thing.
Yeah.
I mean, not
Like,
Bedard now.
do you think, Ben, do you think he could copy what he did last season with this Chicago team currently?
I feel like he could because you're pretty much the main option in Chicago at this point. It's why he got paid big. On the top of my head, I don't believe there's an other guy that can take his spot on the power play one. Yes, you have Lefshinov, but I feel like Lefshinov is more of a power play two guy at this point. Like even this early.
Fair enough.
Because I would have Byram, then Lefshinov on the power play too. So I guess he could rely on himself being the number one guy there, but still 12.5 is ridiculous for Byram. But let's be on the point.
Yeah.
But the other thing is that you have to like look at it as, I don't know if he's gonna be frustrated with this, but they're so like they're still in their youth movement, so there's gonna be so many mistakes.
Inexperience too.
Yeah, so much inexperience. So I think for him, I mean, he's gonna have a really good Russian on his power play coming up this year, and Kentarov, yeah. So
I'm excited
that's
about
another
him.
thing
Yeah.
is, yeah, they're bringing
nice.
they're bringing guys over, but they just most of their team is just young, inexperienced. They're gonna be getting outshot in games. He's gonna have to be working hard. He's gonna play a lot of minutes. So it's gonna be interesting. But at the same time, Chicago's gonna make a. I think these teams like Calgary, Chicago, San Jose, you gotta start making trades. You gotta start giving out some of your prospects that aren't gonna work out, some of your draft picks, because I think teams are seeing how Montreal did is they took their time, but they started trading a couple prospects, started trading a couple picks to get other players that are NHL ready and could develop more. So they just gotta start taking, more trades and all that. So
Well, I mean,
I would say though.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I think San Jose has more pressure though to make trades. We just saw that in the off season when they went out and got Nurse and Truba. But I mean, if they want to do something at the deadline, they definitely can. And also they were kind of close to making the playoffs, I guess, even though that whole division was weak.
And
What do you think?
also the Sharks were linked to Byram. So
Well, do you also think it puts? Do you think it puts pressure on you that now that you got Stenberg and now you got Celebrini, that Celebrini's expectations are a bit higher for the team now? Like, he doesn't want to go for the draft picks. He doesn't want to be in the lottery. He wants to be fighting for the playoffs because he wants to be like those other guys. He's going to the Olympics now, so I
Yeah,
think it's another thing is
I think he's already sorry, I think he's already San Jose's guy. You know, like
Yeah,
he should have been. He honestly should have won the Hart, I think, this year from what
absolutely.
he's done. He is literally the guy on their offense. Like I think
Yeah.
he makes Will Smith look good, even though I'm still a huge Will Smith fan, but
That's my boy.
I didn't mean to put it like that, but like yeah, he makes all these other players
Yeah,
good.
I'm saying that because people were upset at me because I made a post about like Stenberg and Celebrity being the next good duo, and they're getting all
Mhm.
pissed off at me. It's like, oh
What about
no,
Uh,
what about Willie
what
Mack,
about
dude? What?
what
Will
about
Smith is good
what about
too.
Will Smith? Blah blah blah.
Hmm.
Blah. It's like, listen, I love Will Smith, but like
Yeah.
He's
he
not
was just
Stenberg.
getting carried. I just don't think Stenberg will get carried that badly. He'll be able to match his production. Like Will Smith,
Hmm.
I love Will Smith, but he's just not gonna match any of those guys' productions. Sure,
Yeah.
I
maybe if
still
he
think he's
doesn't
gonna
get
be
injured.
like a really good complementary player at the very
Absolutely.
least. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But 100 points? Never. No chance.
Yeah, no, yeah, no, yeah. Damn.
No,
we
but the
have,
Sharks are 100% a fun team. But
yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
Hmm.
Oh, we have another Red Wing trade.
Yeah.
Oh
Next
yeah.
gen's going first on this one.
Sebastian Costa to Utah for a first round pick.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, I really wanted Volstead in that draft, but I heard I guess he didn't interview well in 2021. But I mean, I was still high on Kosa. Obviously, what he's 6'5", he showed some potential. He was on a very stacked Edmonton Oil Kings team that I think won the WHL. They had like Dylan Gunther, Justin Sordiff as well. But it's on a weird development path. He was sent down to the ECHL where he kind of balled out, and then obviously back to the AHL where he had some good starts, but then he kind of tapered off towards the end. And then just the main story with us is how or the emergence of I I forgot his first name. I think it's Michael Postova.
Yeah, Michael. Yeah.
Yeah. And he kind of took the reins and he started for Grand Rapids in the AHL playoffs. But I thought Kosa was pretty decent. My main thing with him was kind of his rebound control, and I don't think he was that good at tracking at some points when there's kind of traffic in front of the net. But I mean, I guess you could say that with all goalies. I'm not nowhere near a goalie expert, but kind of what the 32 thoughts. I remember listening to that podcast was the main thing with Utah is they're trying to gain more rest for Karel Vejmelka, and that's what they're doing with getting Sebastian Kosa. So they expect Kosa to be their backup next year, which I think could be interesting. It'd still be cool to see Kosa play a lot more NHL games because he basically only played like 2 periods, and I think the overtime as well. I remember it was against Buffalo, but either way, I think it's good value that we got a first rounder too, and we obviously took the risk on JP Hurlburt, and the more I'm starting to watch him, the more I think he's more interesting as well for us. But I like that we got a first rounder in return, but it just sucks that we all thought Kosa was going to be kind of the future, or we thought Kosa and Augustine was going to be the future tandem in Detroit, but now he kind of struggled in the HL, and I guess we were kind of frustrated with him. So he was kind of the odd man out, but either way, he's definitely gonna get a lot more playing time at Utah.
Do you think? I do have a question here. Do you think getting? I mean, there was reports like Detroit want to get second rounder and like a player for Kosa. Do you think they get good by waiting and getting that first round pick that most likely wanted more than the second, obviously, and getting Albert Indian?
I guess I think so. Obviously we traded our first rounder at the deadline, and things went south very quickly. I think I'm
For
all
Justin
right. I
Falk.
know a lot of I know a lot of Wings fans wanted I think like an Isaac Howard. We wanted to trade him to Edmonton for like Isaac Howard in a second, and then I thought it would be interesting to get like a kind of an energetic player like that. But I guess to get a guy to develop with the Hurlburt, like I don't mind that as well. It just puts more depth in our um prospect pool, and I mean, we obviously saw a guy we liked in Hurlburt, so I think it's still pretty solid, and we'll see where he can develop from here.
And he's also playing in your backyard. So
Yeah,
yeah,
Michigan.
he's
Yeah.
right in your backyard.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll take it from here. Sebastian Costa to Utah, and Detroit gets JP Herbert. He's a fun guy. Lots of. I feel like he has a high ceiling, but the floor is a little low. Like Next Gen said, it's a little bit of a risk, but at the end of the day, he. It, I'm gonna piggyback what off. I'm gonna piggyback what he said. Sorry. It's depth for the farm system, and I feel that's what Detroit really needs right now. And this is exactly what Detroit needs to do. They're heading and they went in the right direction with this pick. Kosa, I'm not no goalie expert either. But it kind of threw me off because Utah has Harbaugh from UMass, and I think he won goalie of the year. Some award like that, but it threw me off, but we'll see what happens with that situation. But other than that, I think this is a pretty good trade for Detroit going that route and getting Herbert. So we'll see what happens.
yeah, so basically it was Koso first one week that landed Holbert. But honestly, good
Yeah.
value for Detroit.
Yeah.
Pipeline.
Listen, I think Detroit's got two dynamic wingers on their way with tremendous offensive skill in Carter Bear and now JP Herbert.
Yeah.
I think just if you're able to have those two on the wing on the line, and then I don't know who your center end's going to be, but that'd be such a dynamic line because those two guys, they're so dynamic with the puck. So, it's a great get for them to get a first round pick out of there because I think they wanted to be able to pick in the first round because there was some talent at the back end that sure you're taking a risk on to see maybe if you can get a top 6 player out of there. But JP's got all those offensive skills that he can definitely do it. With Kosa, I think it's a matter of confidence in my opinion because I think being just in sports, you can tell that when a guy gets replaced from his position, it's all about recovering from that. I think he had such a good start of the year that he just got so surprised with Postova coming in and just taking over. He took everything over where Kosa wasn't even playing in the playoffs. So I think that, you just got to reset your mindset. He's got to reset his mindset and be like, you know what, I'm going into a new situation in Utah. Going to be the backup goalie. I'm going to get playing time. I'm not going to be in the AHL. I'm going to be able to show to them if I can maybe be the future starter because Vejmelka is a bit older and they do have Utah does have someone else in the NCAA, but he's coming up soon. But Kosa,
I think he'd already signed it.
He did sign last year.
Yeah.
Then he's going to be starting in the AHL. It's what's his name again? It's
Harbaugh.
Yeah. He's going to be starting in the AHL. He's going to be obviously young. He's inexperienced. So Kosa's got time to maybe even be Utah's next starter because he definitely can. Honestly, Utah's got a good team, so he's gonna have good stats in my opinion because Utah's gonna win hockey games now with Vincent Trocheck and all that. So
we're getting to that.
yeah.
But honestly, I think this is just a look on the future for Utah because you get Kosa. You have Harbaugh coming up. I think Vejmelka is like early 30s. But I don't know when his contract is ending. But this is honestly, I don't mind this move for either team. Like next gen, Kosa is gonna pick back up in Utah. Detroit, you get a first round pick that you gave up at the deadline for Justin Falk, and you get it one back. You got JP Holbert, which was definitely like one of the best players available in that 20 to 30 range.
Yeah.
You have Vermelkov for Detroit. You have Vermelkov for Utah. You have Vermelkov for 4 more years. He's going to be 34 by this point. So that gives.
Jesus.
So you have a Vermelkov Koso tandem for at least 2 years, but Koso's for 2 years. And I think you also can move on from Vermelka in like the third year of his contract. So I think it's just a look on the future, preparing for a Kosa Verbal like tandem.
They are
Which is
so
like
Sorry,
set
a good
up.
tandem.
They're so set up, by the way. They are so
Yeah.
set up for the future, and it's actually insane the prospects they still have. It's just insane. The fact that they're able to still build their team up the way they are, and they have the forwards they have already in the defense. It's actually they're doing such a good job, and now they're really set. Their future is set in goaltending. They have 2 guys that honestly they're going to be ready to go, and I don't know. It's insane to look at. They're really ready to make runs for the future.
Yeah.
Sorry, probably what you said earlier about with Bear too. That's what I was thinking about. I think if you put
Mhm.
Hurlbert and potentially Carter Bear on the same line, I think that could work because Bear's really good at kind of getting into the dirty areas and winning puck battles. So if you could just
Yep.
put him on the same line with him, just feeding Hurlbert kind of around the perimeter. So I've been watching a lot of Hurlbert and he's honestly not that bad at getting the puck. It's just that he needs to develop more of his physical tools, get a bigger frame, to help develop in the college realm. But yeah, he's got a really good hard shot too. Like he usually goes low blocker side, I think. But it's really hard, and I think it's one of his main elements that can translate to professional level.
I was like kind of looking at that and like who you could put behind in the middle of the two. You have like obviously you have Danielson, you have I know like
Casper.
you have Casper. I know you can correct me on this if he's not a center, but you have Noah Dower Nelson as well. So obviously, like I think Feeney can play center as well, but he was mostly playing winger this year.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously you still have Larkin, but that whole thing is just a mess.
Yeah.
But honestly, looking at it, I think you can have a good line. If for me, my choice for now would be Danielson. I think that could be a very good trio of like one that like gets physical, like push it, gets the puck in the corners and stuff. One that can like be like the like goal scorer on the line, and the one that can be like the real playmaker. You would have it all: playmaker, power forward, sniper.
Yeah.
I think it's Marco Casper in my opinion.
Oh, it's
I
probably
think,
going to be Casper. Yeah.
I think it's just because that's
nice,
if you could
Really
put
good at
him,
skating.
yeah, you put him and Herbert and Carter Bear on the second line, you're set in my opinion. That's an offensive line that can just not only skate with anybody, but retrieve the puck and be so dangerously offensively. So
Both, I think I thought about Casper, so but both would fit in my opinion. I feel well. All right, this one another minor trade before we get to the last one. Another Boston trade. Ivan Lysell swap.
Ivan for Fabian Lysell. Let's do this. So Don Sweeney moves away from someone that he was very high on when he drafted him, Fabian Lysell. This guy, I'm honestly fine with this trade, to be honest, because as a fan of Lysell when he was drafted, I thought it was a good move. Like, it's a young, fast forward. We went with skill, and that's something the Bruins didn't really do before this pick, so it looked promising. Injury after injury after injury, life in the AHL, no NHL chances. You could go on and on and on and on and on. To the point where the kid's 23, he has concussion. He's basically prone to concussions at this point because he's had so many. we just had to move from him, and he wasn't. And Sweeney in a press conference was literally like, "We are not re-signing him." So this is a fine trade. Ivan, he's just a center that's probably gonna be in the AHL. Maybe call up as like a depth guy for the bench. Who knows? But yeah. So this makes sense that the Bruins traded Lysell instead of just keeping him, letting him walk into free agency and getting something in return. Kind of sucks that we didn't see him pan out, but it is what it is. And we have Ivan now, a guy with the same name as a last name and a first name and a middle name. His
I
name's
didn't.
Ivan.
I didn't put the trade here because I don't think it was noticeable enough.
Nah, well,
The Brad Berard trade the Brad Berard trade to Montreal for William Trudeau. I think this is kind of the same trade, but obviously Trudeau's a defenseman. Brad Berard is a forward that played in AHL this year. This is kind of like the
right.
same deal, but kind of like just a swap for a prospect that wouldn't have a place in their like old former organization.
Right.
It's just taking a chance.
Yeah, this is just like it's whatever at this point because all of Boston, all the Bruin fans actually had hope in Lysell, and it kind of sucked that he didn't pan out. But this is what happens when you can't like stay out of injuries, and but it's also not his fault that he didn't get chances that Sweeney provided him. So this is exactly where we end up, and it's a really it's a shame that this happened.
Yeah, I mean, also at the same time, like it's another one of those trades that you don't move forwards, you don't move backwards.
You're literally just staying in the same place.
It's really
It's
just another same
lateral
place
movement.
trade.
Yeah.
It's a lateral movement, like you just said, and I feel like at this point, what more are we supposed to do? Like he wasn't going to play on our team. We tried to
No.
give him some time. He wasn't able to play. He wasn't able to actually produce enough for us to feel like he probably could have a roster spot. So I mean, obviously I'm a Bruins fan, so obviously I'm only really commenting on what I'm familiar with. And this trade, I'm kind of familiar with, and I just think, you know, it was what it was, and it was over with. I think him not getting time and him not actually being able to get time to play is just exactly why he was traded away. And I don't think they necessarily handled his development situation
Nope.
correctly at all. So it's just one of those things that we have to learn from. And fuck Don Sweeney.
Yeah, and I'm actually gonna piggyback off of what he just said that we did not handle that well at all because Sweeney literally I think after the press conference for the draft he went on press conference and he was like we definitely could have handled the situation with Lysell better. So he took his own accountability with that, which you rarely see with Sweeney. So stuff like that is just kind of crazy as much as I turned on him because I used to support Sweeney, but now it's like you fuck this pickup, and now he's not on the team. We don't use him, so it is what it is at this point. But yeah,
You kind of got like a guy and even Ivan that's going to be playing like
I don't
bottom
even know
six.
what he's gonna do for us. I don't even think he's gonna play. He might just play in case someone's injured. Like
Yeah, 13
I have
forward.
no
Yeah,
hope
bottom
for
six,
this
13
guy.
forward.
It is what it is with this. Whatever.
Next gen.
I was a big Lysell believer.
We
He
all
was looking
were.
like a top 10 prospect in 2021. But I think attitude issues was the main issue with him. That's why he fell and looked like a steal for Boston. And yeah, like you guys kind of said, he just overall struggled with playing time and injuries as well. I still think Colorado might they could might they might be able
Might
to
fix
grab
him.
some untapped potential with him. Yeah. And give him more playing time. I wonder they just traded Ross Colton and Valiant Nichushkin, so I wonder if that's gonna like make some room for their lineup and into their lineup for like a Gavin Brindley and now Lysell as well. But I mean, we'll see. But I like the skill bet with Lysell and Pace. That was two big things I really liked his draft year. And it's just a shame that he barely got any ice time. But at the same time, he's also had some attitude issues as well. So he's kind of he's got the talent, but like he's got to get he's got to like earn it better. He's got to work a little bit harder. But either way, I think this is another potential steal for the Avs that they can develop him more.
Like,
Yeah, well, honestly, I kind of hope it happens so we could just say, yeah, Sweeney, look what the fuck you did. So
Hmm.
you fucked up. You fucked up big. So yeah.
pipeline.
I mean, in my opinion, I think this is an AHL trade. But
Yeah.
No, yeah,
Colorado-
this is why I said minor trades.
I think both guys are going to be in the AHL. I don't think Lysell is going to have the opportunity to showcase what he has with the Avs. And Ivan is just
Go on.
so whatever. But actually, you know what? I'd like to bring in Amari back because I want.
Oh boy.
Oh, Lord.
Love
Oh,
to bring Amari
boy.
back here. Just to see what's your opinion of what I said, Amari? Come on, let's hear it. Come on.
I mean, I can't really argue. I mean, the guy was in the AHL the whole entire fucking time. You know what I'm saying?
Pal,
Like,
you just blowing from stupid town?
you know what I mean? Like, there's not much I can say. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
in my opinion, he's not as good as you are, really.
but
Hey!
I don't know if I can skate backwards anymore. So, I don't know if I can skate backwards anymore. So maybe we might not go that far. But
Nah, you're like PK Subban. What are you talking about?
Wow, all right.
charged. Might have been racially charged. But
Nope.
all jokes aside, yeah, I mean, what you said was spot on. I have nothing really to rebuttal for that. I just think you made a great point in that, if there's no spot on Boston for him, what fucking spot is there going to be for him on Colorado?
Exactly. It doesn't make any sense. How is he going to be able to show his offensive skill sets? Because that's what you guys drafted him for. Like, Colorado's like, oh yeah, we're gonna get a steal here. He's gonna be playing third line minutes. That's not happening. Like, Colorado's so deep that he's gonna play fourth line minutes. He's gonna have to change his game up, and it just won't work out for him.
Because
Just retire.
if I check the lineup,
Just retire.
terror.
You what?
Go back to Sweden at this point. Like,
I think he
it
will.
actually kind of
Honestly,
sucks because realizing he got traded to like a team. Him getting traded to a team that just like has no availability for him really sucks. And I kind of wish like if we were to we traded him, of course, but if we could trade him to like a team that could like maybe like actually use him to like maybe a Chicago or something like that.
Seattle! Hey!
Seattle,
Wait,
exactly.
no.
But they love their middle
Boston
six
can use
wingers.
him, no.
Anyway.
Boston use him.
Anyway, but honestly, it just doesn't seem bright for him at this point. Like, seriously, consider going back to Sweden or something, because you'll get minutes there, maybe second line, first line minutes, but in the NHL, I don't think he's gonna see anything. So that's the sad reality.
Because I'm just looking at the Colorado line right now. He's not cracking the lineup.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's
He's
what
not
I'm
cracking
saying.
the lineup.
Just go back.
I
play
forgot
in
they
the
got
Swedish league.
Svechkov and LaRue too.
Yeah, exactly. Just go back in the
In that
Swedish league,
in that
get
Jack
your
Jones
reps,
trade, and they signed
make
Jenny
a
Coach's free agency. There's just no place for Lysell.
Yes, and that's why I'm saying just go to Sweden, make like I don't know how much they get fucking paid. Maybe just I don't know.
You what?
Just go there, put in your minutes, put in your reps, call it a day. He's not going to be playing in the NHL. I'm sorry. I hate to say it, but at this point, it's just true.
I mean, he's not. I don't think he's signed. He's not signed yet. He's still go to Sweden.
So true. He's not even signed. They haven't signed him, right?
Yeah,
No.
so he literally might go back to Sweden, which is actually
I
hilarious.
think he will go back to Sweden.
I
honestly.
think so too. He has no like place in the NHL, which sucks, but it is what it is.
No, he's got a place in Boston, no?
I think we killed his confidence. That's
We
really
definitely
what it is.
did.
It's kind of like, okay, so to give you guys an example, obviously this is a hockey podcast, but to give you an example, right? So basically, the Celtics, we had a very young, talented player named J.D. Davison. And he was very talented. He was kind of like his skill level wise, we'll say like he was very similar to Peyton Pritchard for anyone that watches basketball. He's very similar to Peyton Pritchard offensively, a little bit of a shorter guy, athletic, able to shoot the basketball, able to score. So we didn't really allow him to thrive because there was just no place for him. I feel like it's a different situation with Boston, but almost similar in the sense that there was a place for him and they just didn't make one. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
So it's the same kind of the similar situation with the Celtics where they weren't able to make room for J.D. Davidson because you have Pritchard, you have Derek White, you had Drew Holiday. So there wasn't really much room for him to play. Whereas, like, I didn't see on the Bruins a similar situation where there was all these guys that could probably play in front of him on the second and third line when we did try and play him. Because if I'm not wrong here, didn't Lysell play like, 20 games 1 year or something?
12.
I think he played like 12. Yeah.
12.
Or like, 15, something like that.
Around
played-
that
He
he
scored a
number.
goal. By the
He
way,
played
scored a
12.
goal.
He played 12 in 24-25.
Yeah. So looking at it objectively that way, that's not enough time for somebody to really get their feet wet. You know what I mean? So I think that it's an interesting situation, kind of like how the Celtics kind of went through the similar situation. And you just look at it that way, and it's
honestly,
sad to see he's not going to be obviously where he should be.
And honestly, listen, and this might sound a little bit wrong, but hear me out. Sometimes you gotta let some players struggle because if they're just gonna keep struggling, they're gonna have to figure it out. They're gonna have to figure it out themselves, and that's basically the step that athletes need to take in order to be legitimate. And at that, I feel like Lysell could have used something like that because, like Amari said, 12, 15 games, that's not enough. He needs way more in order to be like, okay, I know what I need to work on. I'm gonna work on it, and then next season, let's see what I could do. And then after those games, sent straight down back to Providence. It's not fair. That's why I think like if you let some of these guys struggle, they'll figure it out and they will make themselves better so they know what not to do, but what to do. So that's just my opinion. It sounds kind of wrong, but if you really see it from like maybe a coaching standpoint, if you just switch your point of view, it could have worked, but we just didn't do that. And that's why we're in this type of scenario with Fabian Lysell.
I'm looking at it here. He was not called up this year at all.
Exactly my point.
The last time he was called up
was last
was
season, I believe.
March 2025. He was sent back
Yep.
down in April, and he hasn't been called up since. And now
Yep.
he's done in another organization.
Yep.
It's just like you guys all said, badly managed by the Bruins.
And that's why Sweeney said in literally the press conference, he was like, we definitely could have done better with this. We mishandled this completely. Well, he didn't say that, but you obviously know what he was trying to say because he's a fucking dick.
I would say that Don Sweeney, in my opinion, is the best general manager in the league.
Kick him.
I'd like to
Get him
personally thank him for making the
Get him
Bruins a
gone.
fantastic team and helping
Get him gone. Amari,
Montreal
come in.
Canadiens.
Amari, I'm calling you in.
For,
This is bad.
No, he's a Haas fan. Of course he's rating.
but
This is
thank Don Sweeney. I love you, brother. You're my brother for life. I fucking love you.
Oh my god.
anyway, but yeah, poorly mismanaged, and that's it.
Pretty much. And I'm just looking at like the Boston roster here. Yeah, Ivan's probably going to be 13 forward, depth forward, or AHL call up.
He's not gonna do anything. Got it.
First line
Moving
center?
on.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep,
No.
sure. All right. to move on to the
Like, he's
last
playing with
trade.
Pasternak next year.
Was Pasternak geeky and no, Ivan. But no, Petroica, Ivan, and Pasternak.
There you go. That'd be.
Anyway.
All right, to move on to the last trade, Cole Bolden game moved to the Rangers as part of the
Ooh.
return for Vincent Trocheck. I know, Papa, you have mentioned this a lot, so I'll let you go first on this one.
Oh, why? Why me? What?
Yeah, why? Because you.
Listen, this is a great trade for both sides because I think we'll start off with Baudouin. I think he's a really good prospect for the Rangers now. He was a really good prospect for Utah. He had a great year in Barrie. and he, really evolved himself as a player. But for Utah, listen, it's either you wait or you gotta go big, and they decided to make a move that will help them a lot for the future.
Dramatically.
Absolutely. And Rangers, I think I don't really know what the fuck they are doing, to be honest. Rangers are kind of
I'm gonna
like
tell you what they're doing. They're they're trying to retool. They're trying to retool, but they're trying to rebuild at the same time. So, like you said, we just don't know what the fuck they're doing.
it's so
Uh, th-
weird.
They just don't know what they're doing as a whole. They had a
Yeah,
great draft, don't get me wrong, but I have no idea what direction they're heading in, either with a retool or a rebuild. And if they are trying to rebuild, they are doing a very shitty job. It's laughable. It really is. But yeah, that's
I
my
don't.
two
I
cents.
will add to this what we don't know what the Rangers are doing. I hate to say it, but I'm actually gonna ask this question: does everyone think Albert Smith is ready to play in the NHL right away?
Right
I think
away.
there's potentially. I
There's
think he
potential.
needs
Yeah.
AHL time.
Potential, but I'd give him like maybe 2 years.
I'll give him
My
one more.
problem with the Rangers is I think they're gonna do this
They're gonna
badly,
fuck it up.
they're gonna force him into. He's gonna maybe have a good camp, and he's maybe gonna be like a great defensive force, and they'll be like, "Yep, you're starting next year. You're on the roster right away." Because to be honest, do you guys think they would have traded that pick if they did not think that Smith could maybe be ready in a year or so? Because they picked him pretty higher than probably maybe most people thought he was gonna go.
I mean, he's extremely talented. We just can't forget that. But I see your point. I see your point. It's just I feel like I feel like they did really good with this pick for some reason because they
Absolutely.
need it. Yeah, because they need him. I don't
Mhm.
think he's ready right now. I think he needs 2 years. That's just me. But I don't know. Like I said, they're trying to retool and rebuild at the same time, and it's fucked up. They need to just clean the house. It's really bad. But 2 years for Smiths. That's my answer.
But it kind of,
Uh,
if you look at it here, okay. First, to piggyback on your question, do we think if he's like playing, if he's signed to an ALC, of course he's playing. For me, he has to play AHL first. I don't want him
yeah.
to be forced. But if he's not signed to an ALC, one season with the men's in whichever wherever he plays, I think it's very beneficial, and I think that's what 1 year he needs to go pro for 27, 28.
Yeah. So you agree with 2 years, right?
One technically,
One?
because 26, 27 with the men's in
Okay. I
Europe
mean, I see your point.
and 27,
I
28.
just think I think 2 years just to play it safe.
No,
That's really
I
it.
don't mind. I don't mind it. I
Yeah,
don't
I
mind
know,
it.
I
I
know, I
don't
know.
mind the 2 years, but it's like he could also play one, have it play with the men's, have it one like again 1 or 2, and just have
In
it
all
play with them.
serious, in all seriousness, though, what the fuck are the Rangers doing?
Mm.
But
I mean,
Yo,
let's see.
listen, as a Bruin fan, I'm really pissed off what we are doing because I don't know, but I'm happy we are not in that situation because that is more of a clusterfuck than we are in.
Listen, saw Dersey. He's interesting. I don't
Who the
really
Oh
fuck
yeah.
cares? Who
understand.
cares?
Yeah, but I don't understand what the point was of acquiring Sean Dersey because I just don't see him fitting well with the Rangers. He's just not their type of player. I think he's gonna
Nope.
struggle.
And that's why
So
we say no one knows what they're doing.
it doesn't make sense. But I love Cole Baudouin. That's a great pickup. That's
Yep.
your second line, maybe center of the future because he can provide offensively and defensively. He took massive steps to being a really dominant player. He skates really well too. So yeah, really good piece for the future. But yeah, Sean Dersey just makes no sense to me. Yeah.
next
Yeah.
gen,
Yeah. I honestly thought when Utah drafted Belchets, I knew they're gonna, I think, ship off Cole Baudouin, just because they drafted another big guy, and I think they're trying to like kind of space out some room for Ginla and Denoyer. But with the Rangers, I think they just kind of need anything prospect wise, and once again, getting Baudouin is I think pretty helpful. They get another big body like Green Tree as well, but he definitely has a high motor, and
Hopefully they
I
don't
need
fuck
to
that
double
up
check on
either.
Baudouin. Oh, sorry, what?
I just said hopefully they don't fuck up Green Tree either.
Yeah, definitely. They need to like take time with those guys. And going back on the Schmitz thing, I think he might play a couple of games because I think he was one of the most matured prospects in this class. I think he said he like lived alone most of the year in Finland. He's already played a couple Olympic games, so he knows the men's side. It's just him kind of developing what he can do on a smaller ice rink, and if the Rangers can let him do his game, which is kind of going crazy a little bit, like in the offensive zone, like he can move the. I think he's like decently well at moving the puck, especially for his size, and hopefully they kind of don't like really kind of shelter him a little bit, or like they kind of rely more on his, like they kind of just let him be a little bit more free flowing a little bit, because that's kind of what his game is, moving the puck. But I I think you put him in the AHL and see how he does, and if he has the confidence, maybe give him a couple of NHL games. But like I say with a lot of these prospects, you want to get them playing time, so they can learn from their mistakes and continue to grow confidence as well. So I hope that's what the Rangers do, and I think they're in a kind of weird spot where they're kind of forcing themselves to like compete for the playoffs again. When we'll see.
When they're
I'll,
not ready to.
I'll also, I feel like, yeah, he could to go to piggyback what I said earlier. He could sign his DLC and just being loaned back to Europe. That's what like we've seen the Canadians doing. We've seen that with Kapanen in 2024. We've seen that with Rower this year. So I feel like, was it this year or last year? Whatever the year was. I feel like he could sign his DLC, play a few NHL games, and then just being loaned back to Europe, learn there, or even it's just this thing is a mess. But I feel like he's gonna be. I feel like he's either ZLC, being NHL, AHL, or Europe, or just not signing ZLC and just playing in Europe.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
All right.
How about these boys? Hey.
There we go.
How about this?
That's it.
I mean, 10
on.
10 trades. Man.
Come on. Hold on. Sorry. A dog's
What you
going off.
do?
Come here. Come here. Say hi.
Oh, hello.
Say hi.
Oh,
Oh, we got two guys. Oh my
Oh,
God.
Lord.
A black dog.
We got
A black
two.
dog.
wow, they look like a
Black dog.
Mari. Oh my god, it looked like a Mari.
Yo!
Two black dogs.
Hey.
Oh my god.
Look just like me.
Yo.
Wow.
Hold on.
Wow.
I got you.
Oh, that's my
That's
nigga.
Amari.
Yo.
That's Amari. That is Amari right there. No,
All
that's
day.
Amari.
You know it.
Oh my
my-
god.
that's
All
Uh-huh.
right. Great episode, boys.
Okay, as we end on the cute animal moment.
That is as cute as
Yeah,
Amari.
good
How
job,
can
guys.
this be? Look at that black
Fuck Don
boy.
Sweeney
Yeah, that
and
was
fuck
fun.
Cam Neely.
Yes,
See you
sir.
guys
Shit,
next
yeah.
week.
Dang.
Let's go, Donnie boy. That's my boy.
Hey!
End the live.
No,
Fuck
no,
this guy.
no,
Fuck
no,
the
no,
hat.
no.
Right shot on the left side. And
In the open, you can't give him chances.